Dr. Stephen
Choji.
Okay, I'll collect the name.
Like you know, the vet doctor, veterinary surgeon. What else?
Where did you study? Your qualification, years of experience?
I studied at Ahmadu Bello University area.
Okay.
Graduated 2002.
Okay.
So from 2002 to date, I've been practicing. In fact, started practicing before graduation.
Okay.
Yeah, because of one's training as a vet, you'll be exposed to a lot of things in the field. You're doing your IT, industrial attachment, internship and all that.
Okay, how to prevent diseases?
Yeah, I said that you can think of under biosecurity. Biosecurity, we have internal biosecurity, we have external biosecurity. For the purpose of clarification, to make it clear, right? The external biosecurity are the things you put outside the bed. Protect them from coming down with disease or preventing disease outbreak in your farm. Like if you have a farm, let's start with a fence.
Okay.
Yeah. When you have a fence around your farm, the movement in and out of your farm is restricted. People don't just use different routes into your farm. That is one way you are trying to prevent diseases.
Okay.
And then you have a gate. So every movement into your farm comes in through the gate. And you have that kind of arrangement in your farm. You cannot control movement. So fence is one biosecurity, external biosecurity. Then since everything comes in through the gate, we now have what we call foot deep. Foot deep at the gate. So anybody coming in, cars, persons coming in, the cars will drive through the deep. The tires will be disinfected. The food deep will have water and disinfectant. If human beings are coming, we dip their legs, and then there will be a washing hand basin with disinfectant inside.
Just any type of disinfectant, just special types of?
Any type that is not corrosive.
Okay.
The ones they use in washing hands, they are disinfectants that are not corrosive. They are not corrosive to the skin.
Okay.
Like a corrosive disinfectant like formalin now. You cannot put a high concentration of formalin and tell people to be washing their hands. It's going to affect them. But all these iodine-based disinfectants, like the Morigard, the rest, can use those ones.
We have Morigard here.
So that is that. Then part of external biosecurity has to do with using disinfectant in the pen.
Okay.
You can be spraying disinfectant in the pen if the birds are on deep litter or inside the cage. You can daily spray disinfectant. Reduces pathogens within the pen, reduces the rate of infection, cross infection, moving from pen to pen. Then external biosecurity also has to do with using water sanitizers. A lot of disease organisms that gets to birds or livestock generally through water that they drink. So if you use water sanitizers ensure that the water is clean and safe, so that any disease-causing organism that gets into the water is destroyed before the bird takes in the water.
Okay.
And then the water lines, the water delivery system is also kept clean if you are using water sanitizers. Because sometimes organisms begin to multiply within the water lines. You are using nipple system, semi-automated drinkers, those pipes hose conveying the water, sometimes they become contaminated. Bacterial organisms begin to grow inside. If you use water sanitizers keep those water lines and delivery system safe and clean. It's also part of biosecurity.
That's external now. That's still an external.
And then there's also biosecurity in the feed. A lot of microorganisms that are in the feed that can cause problems for the bird. Like the cost of processing the different raw materials for feed, some of them get contaminated, and then some of those contaminants can affect the birds. So we have acidifiers that you can put in feed. They are also part of biosecurity.
Those are, is it the feed makers that put those like
Yeah,
that?
the feed makers. They are the ones that will put it in the feed. And then there are some farmers that make their feed themselves.
How do those ones put acidifiers now?
There are acidifiers in the market. You just buy it and mix it with the raw material
Okay, before you
before you mix the feed.
you have any
They come
money?
like, no, they come like premix.
Okay.
So you just add it to the feed while you are producing it.
Okay. I use a lot of premix myself. I didn't know that was what it does anyway. I just
Anything all those things in small quantities that you add to feed, we call them premix. So you have multivitamin premix, mineral premix, then you have other premixes too, like these acidifiers, toxin binders. Those ones are, you put them in the feed to make the feed safe. So they are all part of biosecurity.